The pedal wizard that is Reeves Electro has introduced a new range of pedals, and this, the Darlington Flyer, is the first one to come out. It's a nasty, classic sounding, but single transistor fuzz pedal that has found a permanent spot on my main board, for now at least, I suppose. But there's actually something very special that separates these pedals from the rest of Reeves Electro's lineup. They're actually made by Marcus Reeves' daughter Izzy, and they are called the Daughterboard pedals. So if you're familiar with Reeves Electro, then you'll know that his pedals are just as beautiful inside as they are outside, and the tones that they create are just amazing. Really, really great pedals. Incredible point-to-point circuits. On this channel previously, I've checked out the Leo and the Zoe, both great pedals. My understanding is that Izzy has always sort of been in the background, helping, testing components and learning from Marcus. And a few key things fell into place that meant these Daughterboard pedals could exist. Firstly, Marcus actually wanted to introduce a range of pedals that used a PCB instead of the point-to-point stuff. And Izzy also wanted to find a use for all of the components that didn't get matched up. So in pedal making, you often need more than one transistor to make a pedal or a fuzz pedal, but you need to find two transistors that match together. So the result of that being that there are a fair few transistors and other components that just don't get used when it comes to pedal making. Izzy wanted to find a use for those. Then was born the Daughterboard pedals, and this first one, the Darlington Flyer. As I said, these are PCB circuits, but they are still just as stunning inside as the main range of pedals. Izzy is definitely taking after her dad when it comes to soldering. The Darlington Flyer is a single transistor fuzz pedal, but you can actually switch between 2 different transistors. With this switch here, in the up position, we have the Darlington Flyer transistor. I think it's just a Darlington transistor actually. And this is a much thicker, gainier sound. Whereas when you switch it down, we get the bipolar junction transistor. This is much more gated and spittier and a bit more sensitive to what guitar you're using. On the other side of the pedal, we have a tone switch. The fat controller in the up position is a much more thicker sound, whereas the down position, the narrow gauge, is a much thinner sound. It really thins things up, almost sort of treble boostery range type of things. In the middle, we have a single volume knob. I really like to crank this, even if I don't need the extra volume. When you start to get above 3 o'clock, it starts to push your amp into a bit of extra overdrive. Just adds a little extra sizzle on top, a bit more aggression that I love. The Darlington Flyer is actually a weird kind of fuzz pedal because I'd definitely say it is classic sounding, vintage sounding, but I've never played a pedal like this. That might be down to the fact that it just uses one singular transistor. My understanding is that most old fuzzers use 2, 3, or even 4 transistors. So Izzy and Marcus are really pushing that one transistor into crazier, fuzzier realms, I suppose. I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is how I'm making sense in my mind. But really the pedal's kind of making my job harder because I just can't fault it actually. It's just one of those fuzz pedals for me that works. Use any amp, it reacts differently to different guitars in unique and cool ways, and it just always delivers. It always sounds excellent, and I really, really love it. Now I know Reeves Electro pedals aren't always the easiest to get a hold of, but really the idea behind the Daughterboard pedals and using PCBs is that they eventually will become much easier to produce and maybe a little more affordable as well, which both are good things in my book. I definitely keep an eye out for a Darlington Flyer and absolutely what the rest of the Daughterboard pedals has to offer. I'm personally really excited to see what else they've got. But mainly, congrats to Izzy and Marcus for creating a fabulous fuzz pedal.